Hi guys, so in the last video I talked about the fact that I'll no longer be buying several things because of the fact that I'm decluttering and just whittling stuff down to the things that add value. So where am I going to start? There's two places I'm going to start. As I told you before, I'm going to be in the kitchen doing some of the decluttering, but whilst we're here in my bedroom, I thought it's a good idea to give you an idea of the things I'll be doing to make space for a lot of the new products and new clothes and new things that I'll be accumulating in the next year or so. Starting with the closet and the wardrobe, how can we declutter that? What types of things should we take out? So that's what this video is going to give you some tips on. Okay, so the first thing then, let's look at ripped, broken or stained clothing. Now, obviously we've got things like Vanish you can use to get most of the stains out, and I know what it's like. I have white things that have kind of gone off-white when you've washed them, and if you can't rescue them again and you feel conscious about wearing them and you know you're not really going to wear it that much, or if it's something that's ripped and you know that you can't really fix it easily, it's jeans and worn away on the inside face, edges or seams or whatever, and you know that you can't really easily fix it, or you've ripped a button off something. You know, if you're the type of person that likes to wear ripped things, ripped jeans, patchy stuff, and that's your general style, then even if your clothes are ripped and you think you can put a patch over it and style that's a fashion, go ahead and do it. Just don't keep hold of it longer than necessary if you genuinely don't think you're going to do that. Just be honest with yourselves. I'm guilty of the fact that if I tear my clothes, I tend to put them in a box or a bag ready to fix later on. Now, I've got a sewing machine and I do have loads of like knickknacks of buttons and stuff. Now, those are the types of things now that I won't be keeping any longer. Buttons, one of the first things that you don't need to keep 90% of the time. If you rip or, a button falls off one of your tops or something, worst case you can buy a whole new set of buttons, or there's one spare button on the actual inside of the clothing. So anything that's ripped, just let it go. Let it go. If you're not going to fix it straight away, or if you put it aside like I've done and you think, oh, I'll fix it later, and then a year goes by or 6 months goes by and you haven't actually sat down and fixed it, you probably don't need it and you've gotten used to living without it anyway. Let it go. Saving. Things that you're saving. Now, we're all guilty of having clothes in the wardrobe that we keep for maybe a special occasion, or we keep it thinking, oh, maybe later on it will fit better, or it might look right with some other thing that I might buy. If the time goes on and you haven't worn it, again, probably best to just let it go. What are you saving it for anyway? If it's something special and you know that it's nice, then it kind of borderline is daytime, or you're going to go out to a party or something but you haven't worn it yet, wear it as quickly as you can. Life is the occasion is one of my favorite phrases. So generally there are times when I'll just wear something flamboyant in the everyday, kind of hanging out in the city centre or at work or whatever, because sometimes I just think, you know what, I might not want to wear this every week or every day, but I am going to wear it because that's what I bought it for. I want to enjoy it. So make sure that you make use of the stuff you've bought. Otherwise, it's just taking up space and it was a waste of money and time you putting it in your wardrobe in the first place. Okay, things that are out of style or things that are not your style. If it's not for you, if it doesn't look right for you, you don't feel it really shows who you are, or really, makes you feel that it is a good representation of the types of things that you like to wear in general. If you don't feel comfortable in it, let it go. If it's out of style and you genuinely think it's going to come back in trend a year or two later or whatever, and you really love that piece, keep it. I've got a leopard skin scarf. The reason I've kept that is because leopard skin always comes back in fashion. I don't have many snake skin items. I know lots of people that do, but I have maybe one. I have a dress that's in snakeskin pattern, but basically some of those things are kind of timeless. They do come and go every 7 years with the 7-year cycle that fashion tends to revolve around. In that instance, I would say if you love that thing, keep it, and if you don't love it, get rid of it. Okay, lingerie. If you've got any lingerie at all and it's, for instance, it's a pair of pants, the elastic snapped, or it's not very comfortable, or the underwire digs in the bra, don't wear it anymore, let it go. I've had bras where the underwire is coming out. Now, again, if you're going to sew it and fix it so the underwire can stay inside, do it as quickly as possible. If not, the bra needs to go in the bin. So simple. And the same with any old underwear. Nowadays, you can get underwear so easily and cheaply everywhere that it's not worth you keeping anything that's just not comfortable or looks tatty. It just makes you feel worse when you start the day and you open the drawer and you've got a load of tatty bits of underwear to put on. I always like to have a nice, fresh, clean set of plain neutral black underpants and thongs, and I also like to have my nice frilly, more kind of special occasion ones that I can wear easily under jeans and stuff without them showing through. But I do distinguish a difference. One bit of underwear that I used to have that I kept for absolutely ages is, you know, the tie at the side thongs where you get the little ribbons and you tie it in a bow on each side. Oh my God, so many of those I used to buy. I bought them all from like Dorothy Perkins or something, you know, like Brie for, I don't know, £7 or something like this back in the day. And I never wear them. They're kind of novelty items again. So who needs novelty underwear that isn't quality and it isn't comfortable? Not that bothered. It's gone, it's so gone. We're all into Victoria's Secret now, and Primark do some great underwear ranges as well. So you don't need that tat anymore. If you want tat, get it, use it, wear it, and then let it go once you realise you're not going to wear it all the time. Things that you feel like you have to keep, you sometimes feel guilty about, are things like gifts. So somebody might give you something nice and it's an item of clothing that you've basically inherited from someone, or it's a present or something you've got for Christmas. You didn't really like it that much. It wasn't really your style. My mum's bought me loads of stuff like this. I've got boots, I've got winter boots, I've got jumpers with like kind of cheesy patterns on. Once I've worn them, once maybe twice, I have to ask myself, is it classic? Is it comfortable? Is it cozy? Can somebody else make use of it? And if the answer is yes, somebody else can make use of it, just pass it to them so they can enjoy it. On that subject, sentimental items comes in, tied in with that. So if you bought something and you bought it at a specific time or from a specific place or from an experience that you had, it will be harder maybe for you to let that item go because there's a memory associated with it. So it's quite sentimental. But again, if it's not something you're wearing or you like to wear that much, or you feel that it's, I don't know, out of style or just awkward or uncomfortable, just really do yourself a favor and say the memory is gone. You've got photos of you wearing it. You know, it was a beautiful item at the time, but now there's so many more beautiful items that are ready to come into your wardrobe. The shop's full of them. Don't hold on to it if you don't genuinely love it anymore. And even if you do, if you're not going to wear it, it's just taking up space. Again, with sentimental items, I had a 21st birthday hat that I bought. It was a trilby, it was a red one, and I absolutely loved it. Now, it's a hat, it's a trilby, it's barely been like, you know, deteriorated or anything. It's just been kept nicely on a shelf for a few years. When is the next time I'm likely to wear a bright red hat? When is the next time that bright red hats are going to be in fashion again? Maybe I could wear it for a fancy dress, and that's what I kept it for. Maybe I'll wear it for a fancy dress. I've got a bag full of little knick-knack novelty things for fancy dress. Do you know what? I hardly ever wear anything fancy dress. And if I do, it's probably going to be more like Halloween, where I'm likely to not necessarily wear an outfit. I'm more likely to wear just like makeup or something, and wear like a relatively simple outfit and just, I don't know, put some devil horns on or something like that and a bit of red lipstick and kind of go with like, you know, a bit of painted on face makeup. So much more minimalist, and that way you're not cluttering up your cupboards with fancy dress items that you don't actually need. So that kind of ties in with the sentimental items, you know. Again, wear them and use them as often as you can so that they do get used. Otherwise, let them go. Things that don't feel good or look good on you. We've kind of touched on this with the don't fit stuff and the no longer your size stuff. You know, if it doesn't feel good or look good on you, going back to size, actually, we didn't explain there. Size, if you were bigger once and you've gotten smaller, do you really need to wear that item anymore? Does it hang funny on you? Does it kind of like sling off of you in an awkward way? You know, in that way, you have to think to yourself, am I likely to go back up again in size? And the answer's most likely going to be no. I mean, unless you're some type of athlete or bodybuilder or something where you go up in size and down in size very often, then unlikely that you're going to go back to that item and wear it and it's going to fit perfectly. When you're saving things, right, like I said about life's the occasion, sometimes you think, oh, I'll save that for another time. What are you saving it for? Are you saving it for your kids? because I'm telling you now that Primark's going to be around for a while. It's a bit fast fashion-ish, but because the world is becoming that way, and because fashion is becoming that way, there's so much more choice and affordable options out there that you do not need to keep cheap standard items to give to your kids or whatever. They don't need them. If you don't need them, let them go. So don't save things that don't look good on you, or you don't want them and you're not passing them on to somebody else. Just let that item go. Pass it to the charity shop, thrift it, or give it to somebody that you know that might benefit from it instead. An example of that for me was I bought a coat from an online store. A Chinese colleague at work wore it, and I saw it in China when I was on a visit there, and I said, oh my God, I love your jacket. I love this trench coat thing that you're wearing in the office. I basically waited for her to order it and send it to me in the UK. The thing was, they only had a medium size. Now in China, sizes are slightly different to the European sizes. So if you go for M or L, sometimes it's not really that much bigger than, I don't know, a 10 or a 12 or whatever. It's just classed as M and L for the small Chinese frames that people generally fit into. I thought, okay, I'll get this M-sized coat, I'm sure it'll be fine. And when I got it, it was so like big and hanging over me that I thought, I just can't wear this. You know, it's like two sizes bigger than really what I am, and it just looks awkward to wear. So it's gone now. Loungewear. Have you got loads of pajama sets from Christmas gifts, sets of pajamas that you just got, stuff that you want to hang out in the house in, to watch TV in, to wrap up on the sofa in? That's one of the areas that we always get too much stuff, and it tends to build up quickly and easily. So ask yourself, if there is a set of pajamas you've got, or two pairs, maybe one that's more wintered, you know, kind of full sleeves and full leg length. Maybe you've got the crop shorts and the little string vest versions of pajamas that you wear at night when it's summer and it's hot. And just ask yourself if one or two pairs is enough. Maybe you don't need to have 5 or 6 different types of pajamas to sleep in. So whittle that down. It's something you won't even notice realistically once they've gone. A thick dressing gown and a thin slinky dressing gown is enough to kind of hang out in the house in. Maybe a pair of leggings, and that's about it. Okay, free t-shirts. How many times have we got free items, especially free t-shirts, that you kind of go, oh, I've got a free t-shirt from this event, or I've got given this thing. If you're gonna wear it for that short time. So when you've worn it a few times, ask yourself if it's something that needs to live in your wardrobe, if it needs to be a regular wash, ironed, reworn item. And if the answer is no, wear it while it's new, and then wash it and take it to the charity shop so that you've enjoyed it and you've got some photos of you in it. You've said thank you, you've been grateful for the free gift, and now you've passed it on to someone else that can benefit from it, or it can be recycled. Sportswear, that's something I'm so guilty of. Sportswear is one of those things where you do need to be able to interswap your clothes, because you don't want to turn up at the gym or in this sports event, whether it's the tennis, whether it's a dance class, whether it's a whatever thing you do, whatever activity you do. I used to do capoeira, so I've got capoeira outfits, but I haven't done capoeira for a long time now. The sad thing for me is I loved capoeira, and when I joined the clubs that I joined, obviously I got their club uniform, so those club uniforms I still have, and if I went back to capoeira tomorrow, I could wear them. However, it's unlikely that I'm going to join capoeira class again tomorrow, so do I really need to keep that whole ensemble just in case I go back again? And the answer is probably no, not for the whole set of clothing. So be realistic, and also ask yourself if you can just have 1 or 2 items that you hold on to. So if you've got 1 or 2 items, so you've got like one whole outfit, that should be fine. Don't keep 3 or 4 interchangeable outfits if it's very specific to a sport that you no longer do. Pass it on to a friend that you know that does the sport, or pass it on to the charity shop and they can get it to someone that can benefit from it. Accessories and jewellery. I tend to find that when I got jewellery, like some of these pieces like this one is quite timeless, and it's just a very simple piece of costume jewellery. But what I like about this one is it doesn't deteriorate or tarnish because it's made of wood. So in that way, it's quite neutral and it matches my skin tone well. I think it's quite nice and simple. I used to wear it for work, not so much now. So I've kept that as a piece that is a bit more timeless. Some of my other costume jewellery is very fad-like. How many times have I bought a gold chain but it's not gold. It's just metal with a gold finish. So there are so many earrings and so many funky coloured necklaces and lots of tarnished metal and gold and things like that that can easily be thrown away. And if it's real gold or real silver, weigh it up, take it down to the jewelers or to the pawn shop, and you can trade that in and get money for it. Things like my old hoop earrings. I used to have these really nice gold hoop earrings, but that was so when I was like 22. They just stayed in my jewelry box for years. I don't really wear hoop earrings anymore, so they're gone. I think that you should really limit yourself to good quality jewelry. So if you're going to have jewelry that isn't real gold or real silver, try and go for something that's quite hard wearing and well plated. Get something that's well known for retaining a good quality. Simple pieces that are gonna stand the test of time. I've got sterling silver jewelry from Gucci and things like that, which I've considered to be really good quality pieces. So obviously your branded items like Pandora and stuff are made out of 100% sterling silver, so they last longer. Everything else that's faddish or costume jewelry-ish, I know that as soon as it's been in the drawer for 6 months, it's gonna have a limited shelf life, so let it go in terms of style and quality. If it's tarnished and ruined, let it go. If you've got any clothes that you haven't worn in over a year and you know that they just don't look right on you, and that's why you're consciously, not really going back and putting them on, or you feel awkward because they're just in a very outlandish style. I've got a pair of military boots. In all fairness, we're coming into winter now. I will be wearing those military boots now. They're basically like army boots with a zip up, because I know damn well that after this winter, I won't be keeping them anymore. Nothing wrong with them. Perfect, beautiful leather boots, zips and lots of buckles on them and everything, and a lace up front. Very, very, they were very much in that trend, that kind of military aviator sunglasses trend that we went through a few years ago. But I'm so over it now, and I want those boots out of my wardrobe. As good quality as they are, I'm going to pass them on to someone that can benefit from them. And the other last thing I want to mention to you all, because I know we've all done it, we're all guilty of buying new things with tags on that have never been worn. How many items have you got in your wardrobe that you've never worn? Ask yourself, be honest. I've got them too. I've got a red velvet dress, which you'll see me wearing in my videos. I bought it last year. I bought it last Halloween, last October, and I intended to wear it out on my birthday. And what happened was I went out for my birthday last year and I just wore something simple like a top and jeans because it was cold and I didn't really go out to some nightclub or whatever. So I didn't go in this velvet dress. Be honest with yourself. It might not be a bad item. It might not be an item that you're just keeping, for a one-time event like a birthday or a wedding or whatever, but if you genuinely know you can't wear it regularly, or you haven't worn it, or it's not something where you think, okay, I might not wear it to every year because it's a wedding item, I'll wear it when I've got another wedding, and I can't wait to 3 weddings in 1 year, so it probably get worn the following year. If 2 or 3 years goes by and you haven't worn it, let it go. I've got a dress that I bought to wear to a wedding years ago. I spilt white wine on it. It was like a chiffon material, and I have not quite rescued the stain out of it. It was from Phase 8. It cost a bit of money. It was like £130 or something like this. It's just sat in a wardrobe in a dress bag. Now it's going to the charity shop. At the end of the day, it's not that valuable that it can't be gone. I wouldn't miss it tomorrow. If I was told that it had been taken out of my wardrobe 3 months ago, I wouldn't even have noticed. Okay guys, so that's it really. I just want to give you a bit of an idea of where to start thinking about things that you own, that you know, that you just don't need anymore. I hope it's been helpful to you anyway. So if you are decluttering like I am, please keep an eye on my channel and you'll see some more tips and advice that I'll be putting up here soon. I'll also give you some more tips and advice on how to basically use things that you can get double use out of, because I think that way everything's a bit more flexible and you can whittle down stuff, but get multiple uses out of things, whether it's clothes or whether it's stuff that you use for beauty or whatever. Try and use things that are a bit more sustainable and less wastage. It's really down to you as a person what you think you need to keep and what you think you need to let go of. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day and I look forward to seeing you soon. Please click like if this has been helpful, and also please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.